Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, good evening, Mike, and welcome, as well as our viewers, to the latest installment of the Bye Weeks podcast, now rebranded as Over Under Football. And you'll be pleased to know we're looking forward to doing our favourite segment from the old podcast, which was looking at the spreads of the week.
Absolutely, yeah. Looking forward to getting into predicting some of these games, Thomas. Some really interesting spreads at the start of the season. Always a tough one to call week one in my experience. I don't think I normally get too many right, which is probably shared by most people, but we'll try and give some advice and be helpful where we can.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I mean, I got burned a little bit on the college spreads already, week one.
Oh, did you?
So much for listening to my own advice of never touching week one. You're just really salivating to get back to football season. It's around you can't help.
What stuck out as your most disappointing result from week one of the college football season, Thomas?
I took it was a really stupid bet at the end of that. I took Utah to beat Florida. You should, as you texted me, I believe on Saturday night, you should never trust the Pac-12. But God knows what came over me to make that bet.
That's another golden rule.
Yeah,
don't ever back the Pac-12 against anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
So anyway, we're going to be running through the NFL spreads on this segment. Me and Mike are going to be going head to head over the year to see how many we can get right and wrong, and then also providing a little bit of value. And for this, we're going to be using the Athletics spreads. And nice little layout here from the Athletic, which is powered by MGM Casino, getting the line direct from Vegas there, Mike.
Yeah, the Americans belatedly getting on the online betting market, Thomas. Good to see them providing some odds.
Yeah, no, it's lovely to see. It's about time, in my view. So, what have we got? What have we got first up here, Mike? A little Thursday night football. Buffalo traveling to the Rams.
Heavyweight encounter. The champs squaring off against the Bills at home. Home dog, Tom. Super Bowl champion, home dog. It's not often you see that.
No, it's not. And yeah, I have to say, I agree with this. I think the Bills are a slight favourites for me to take this one at the -2. A lot more to prove coming off their disappointing, frankly ridiculous end to the season last year. The Rams can only go down. So I think motivation is a factor here. The Bills come out flying and get the job done here in LA on Thursday night.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to go Bills too. I think they'll win by a field goal. I don't like betting against the defending champs at home in the first game of the season, but Stafford's had his elbow surgery, hasn't really played much in the preseason. Don't know how healthy he's going to be in a shootout against that high-powered Bills offense. Josh Allen, I think, it's going to be too much on this occasion. But I think the Rams are going to put up a solid season, be solidly back in the playoff hunt again this year, I'd have thought.
Yeah, I think so. It's always hard to retain that level. And like you said, it's a home dog, but not much by the way of support from the home fans here. So it's not really one that would even tempt me. I'll be quite comfy taking the Bills there.
I think I'm right in saying as well, these two quarterbacks are up in the top 5 of the early MVP odds, favorites. So that'll be interesting as well to see if either of them grabs that by the scruff of the neck, makes a statement in week one.
Yeah, and it's perfect conditions should be anyway to do it. LA.
Oh yeah.
September. So yeah.
In the soulless vacuum that is SoFi Stadium. There'll be more Bills fans there than Rams fans, which is actually a good point you made to me earlier, Tom, which is, it's not really going to be a home game for the Rams.
No, they never are. What's the over-under there total? Is that 51.5? I can see
51.5, yeah. I think over, right?
Yeah.
I think both teams could score. Oh, you can hear a siren going past my apartment there. Um,
Sights.
um, I, I think both teams will score 30 points, won't they?
Well, I think they should. Yeah. I mean, the only thing you'd say is it's the first game of the season, so they could be a little bit sloppy.
Very true.
I don't know. You never really know of those. I tend not to touch those and just look at the spread. But it is interesting. Like, it's going to be great conditions to sling it around.
Yeah, gun to my head, I'd go Bills and over on the points there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next up, another Sunday 1 p.m. kickoff. We have the Jaguars at the Commanders. I'm actually quite interested to see this game, to be honest. The Washington Commanders coming in as a 2.5 point favorite. I mean, that is rich for my blood. I don't know what you think, Thomas. I mean, that's.
It's
Go on. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, well, yeah. You've got a bit more of a sort of passion in your picking of this, I think, with one of your favorite quarterbacks of all time playing for the Commanders as an Eagles fan. But I think this is about right when I looked at it, to be honest. Nothing, it didn't really surprise me. And I think we might go a bit differently on the spread on this one. Yeah, I don't know. Until the Jags show you they can do it, I mean, I just bet against them. First game of the season, you know, are they going to be up for it? We'll find out, I guess. I mean, I probably wouldn't place money on this one myself, but I'd like to think the Commanders take this by, yeah, they could be a field goal or slightly more, maybe a touchdown. I think the Commanders.
Okay.
I feel like they're relatively healthy compared to past seasons, and the offense looks better. Albeit not much better, but I think they'll have slightly enough to get past the Jags. I wasn't too enthralled with the Jags' first overall selection, to be honest. And by all accounts, he hasn't done too much in preseason. So, yeah, I feel like the Commanders are going to be a bit of a safe one here.
Okay, interesting. I'm going to respectfully disagree. I think Doug Peterson, the new coach of the Jaguars, he knows this Commanders roster very well from his time in the NFC East. He knows Carson Wentz extremely well. He's going to have a plan for Wentz, I think, in week one. And I think you're going to see Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence take steps forward. I think there's some nice pieces. Look, they overpaid for Christian Kirk. I agree. The draft, as always with the Jaguars, seems to be kind of, they've taken risks basically everywhere with their picks in the draft. So it's like they're boom or bust, as always, the Jags. Obviously, they're normally bust, overwhelmingly bust. But obviously, I've got a soft spot for Doug Peterson. I think he's going to get the move in here. This reminds me of his first season with the Eagles, where week one with Wentz as a rookie, we went on the road, played the Bears, who were then a very good team, and we narrowly lost to the Bears in that game. I think he's going to have them up for this, and this Commanders team is terrible. I think they're going to finish bottom of the NFC East. I think Wentz will throw more interceptions than he does touchdowns. So. For me, I think the Jags might sneak it.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of the Jags in preseason when I was in the States, and definitely Lawrence looked good. Etienne looked good as well. Just the outside weapons are poor for the Jags for me. So
they are.
If they get down a score or two, I think you can pretty much put a stake in them. But this would be good. We've got a nice diversion on the second spread, so. Here we go. A little bit of jeopardy early on for us.
You got to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
Next one here, we're off to the AFC North. If my internet will cooperate, no, it won't. That is less than ideal. I think you've got the the spreads up somewhere, haven't you, Thomas?
Oh yeah, I've got it. Yeah, as long as you're still running, we'll keep running. Wait for you to come back with that. But yeah, so it was the Steelers at the Bengals.
Yep, Steelers at the Bengals. And what's the line there, Tom?
Well, it's pretty big, Mike. The Steelers come into this as 6.5-point underdogs. Now, as someone who watched quite a bit of the Bengals, they won all those close games last season, by the end of last season, but throughout last season, they rarely won by more than a score. So there, he's going to get them up for this first game of the season. You know, they're going to have had a great and productive off season. So yeah, this one, I guess the rookie quarterback is factoring into this. The Steelers obviously going to start Kenny Pickett, but they should make it easy for him. Away game on the road at Cincinnati, they probably won't ask him to do too much, and they'll lean on the running game. And for that, yeah, pretty comfortable cover here for the Steelers for me.
Yeah, I mean, that line is just too big. I'm not going to get into necessarily too deep into the sort of the strategy in this game and go through the rosters. Who, you know, it's just purely for me in an AFC North slobber knocker. They're just very rarely won by that margin. So you've got to back the Steelers to keep it under 11. You know, Mike Tomlin's a fantastic coach. He'll have that defense ready to go. Bengals offensive line much improved, but you know it's never an easy game against the Steelers, and I think Burrow will get them the win, but it won't be smooth.
Yeah, I mean, if I wouldn't even know about that. I'd be very worried taking the Bengals to win this, and I think it could be the Steelers win even this one. You never know in these divisional ones.
Yeah, well, especially in that division, you know, there's some divisions where, like the AFC South, is shocking, and there's always blowouts in that division. There's always a team that gets blown out by everybody. Oh, Zoom telling me our meeting ends in 10 minutes, so we better get a shift on here.
All right, we'll rattle through the remaining spreads.
Yeah, we'll have to rattle through them. So yeah, I think we're both backing the Steelers to cover that.
Oh yeah. All right, what's next on the slate?
Next one is the revenge game of the week.
Oh my goodness! Well, I'll keep it short and sweet. Baker Mayfield is going to win this game. You can say that with almost 100% certainty. He is going to win this game. So that's it for me. Take the Panthers and pay off your mortgage.
Yeah, it's just karma, isn't it? I think it's just going to happen to the Browns. It's unfortunate in a way. I feel for the Browns fans, but the way that their franchises behave this off season, I think it's pretty predictable. The Panthers are going to swoop in with Baker Mayfield and take the W here. I agree with you, Tom. Panthers by a touchdown for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd say it's that's a fair call on that touchdown. Yeah, you could even go for the extended spread and go higher, -6.5 or something like that. But yeah, -2.5. I think we both agree that's a nice Panthers cover there.
Okay, all right, cool. So next one then. Saints at the Falcons.
All right, and on the spread we got 5.5 points. So
5.5 points.
Yeah, in a divisional game, I would always feel a bit worried taking the favorite as a minus on the spread. So purely for that reason, it's a divisional game. I'll just take the Falcons here to cover 5.5, but I'm not too excited about it. But just purely the fact it's a divisional game.
Yeah, no, I think just because it's a divisional game, the Saints are going to be more of a defensive football team this year anyway. I don't think they're going to blow people out. The Falcons will hang around and make it interesting, and the Saints win a close one for me. I think that's pretty straightforward. Watch it be a 30-point margin now, and the Falcons off to a nightmare start, but I digress. So next one is Baltimore on the road at the New York Jets. The woeful New York Jets.
Yeah, totally moribund as a franchise these days. Now,
great use of moribund.
I'd have to, if you ask me, I'll take the Ravens on this. I'm going to have to take them until the Jets show me they're a fully functioning football team. I don't believe in the quarterback at all. I still think that was a shocking pick. Look forward to being proven right on that. So, again, it just comes down to the opponents being a very well-oiled unit, very well coached. You fancy them to take this by more than 7?
I think so. They've got everybody healthy again now, for the most part, after their nightmare with injuries last year. The Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson will be coming out playing for a new contract with a point to prove. And yeah, even if Zach Wilson plays, and that's not a definite, we might have another revenge game here. We might have Joe Flacco back against his old team for the Jets. I mean, that really sums it all up for me for the New York Jets. So yeah, I think the Ravens by a couple of touchdowns, maybe. It could be comfortable.
I think so.
Interesting aside on the Jets, the Eagles joint practices with the Jets this summer, and I mean, according to the people that watched those joint practices, it was not close. The Eagles absolutely destroyed the Jets every day, which probably speaks to the lack of quality in that Jets roster, because the Eagles aren't, they're not going to be going deep into the playoffs themselves. So yeah, it's not a good team. Okay, speaking of not a good team, the New England Patriots, maybe slightly unkind, go down to Miami. I mean, give me Miami here. I think it's going to be, what is it going to be, like 100 degrees or something? That New England never play well in Miami. They never play well down there ever, even with Brady.
Yeah, exactly. That's a football team built to play in the cold, really. And yeah, I think we're going to see Miami open things up a little bit. Tua's got all sorts of weapons there these days. So yeah, I fancy them to put up some points. And Flores' defense is still there. The spine that he created there of that defense is still there. So yeah, I'd be comfortable agreeing with you on this. Take Miami.
Yeah, I think so. The 49ers on the road to the Chicago Bears. Ooh.
Now, this is a real tempter here. 7 points.
7 points. Man alive.
Yeah. I mean, you really don't know. It's week 1. I mean, the Niners could just win by 20 points here. But
that's the thing, because the Bears on paper, it's like how not to construct a roster to help a talented young quarterback. They're one of the just on paper, they are one of the worst teams in the NFL, the Bears.
Yeah.
And they've got the worst, it's their offense, they've got the worst offensive line in football for me. And the 49ers have one of the best defensive lines. So give me that all day, I think. I've just talked myself into it. I think the Niners cover this.
Yeah, I think so. Trey Lance is starting at quarterback. I'm still.
But he doesn't even have to play well necessarily. They don't.
No, I'll just take the home dog here, just because I don't know. I think it could be a blowout.
It's a huge spread,
to be honest. So
big home dog. I'm definitely going against my own rules, which is big home dog. Just always take the home dog. But
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I just think this Bears team are dreadful, but we'll see.
They are, yeah, badly constructed, as you say. All right.
Right. Eagles at Lions. 4 points. Ooh.
No, it's not enough for me. I think I'll take the Eagles on this. I think the large swathes of the American public might be getting behind the Lions after their appearance on Hard Knocks, and maybe even, dare I say, feeling a bit sorry for them, which is maybe reflecting the line here. A few people piling on the Lions to cover, because I think this should be a touchdown or more. Just think the Eagles are a much better football team fundamentally, and they'll have too much for the Lions in Detroit.
Yeah. Before I comment on this, we are going to run out of time on this call, Tom. So I think what we'll do is we'll finish up as far as we can get on this one, and then we'll do a part two. We'll do a two-parter.
Yeah, sounds good.
For the good people, because we don't want to leave people shortchanged, obviously. Yeah, I think the Eagles are a much improved team, obviously, as you just mentioned, and as it's become pretty clear just on paper, you know, the players that Harry Roseman has brought in this offseason on both sides of the football. So I think it might not. I think the Lions will hang around, but then eventually the Eagles might pull out a win by a touchdown. And just get out of Dodge with a win. Their second easiest strength of schedule of any team in the NFL this year, the Eagles. I think they might be doing that a lot, winning by a touchdown against not very good teams and racking up quite a good record in the NFC East. Let's hope. Anyway, as far as I'm concerned. So
season, the hope's there, the fresh hope.
Yeah, exactly. I'm full of hope. I'm full of hope with a quarterback that's never won a playoff game. It's just that's what the NFL does to you, isn't it? So yeah, we're less than a minute into this call now, so we'll wrap this one up. We'll come straight back with another one. So catch you in a minute, Thomas.
All right.